Okay, so this week we're doing a little something different. We're talking camera gear, because this is YouTube, and we become obsessed. Go. My name is Timothy Sands, and this is Fashionable Father. If you're one of the lucky ones and have subscribed early, welcome back. If you're new here, subscribe if you're so inclined. We have videos about fashion, we have videos about fatherhood, and we have videos about camera gear. I tried to avoid it. I did. Did I get a new camera? No, I didn't. But to properly tell you this story, we're gonna have to go back a few days and start a little vlogging. So one of the side effects of making videos on a regular is that you start to become obsessed with gear. Everybody says it, and I believe it too. It's content, and content. But I rented some equipment, right? I became obsessed. I blame you, Caleb, with the GH5. The Canon M50 is amazing. It works, but it is an entry-level camera, and I feel like I've grown out of it. Not really. Anyways, that's what I'm telling myself. What better than to rent the camera? Because if you don't know what you want, and especially when you're spending a lot of money, stuff is expensive. I mean, you know, full frame is obviously expensive, but so is... Whoa, look at this. So this is from lensrentals.com. That's kind of cool. Wow, look at that. Oh, I feel like I'm in a movie. Whoa. Oh, look at that. Smile. Also, I decided to rent 2 lenses. Here's the first lens. Oh my god, this thing is tiny. Look how tiny this thing is. Oh my god. This is almost laughable tiny. This is smaller than... Anyways, wow, this tiny little Olympus. This is an Olympus lens. But I wanted to do the 12 millimeter prime, but it's got the a 2.0 aperture, which I've heard the GH5 is not exactly great in low light. So I want to try lenses that'll open that up and let in a lot of light. Oh, this is the camera. Oh, it's not that big. I expected it to be bigger. Wow. Yeah, I'm feeling it. I'm already feeling it. Gear. There's something. It's like a drug. Little tiny little lenses. Little tiny little lens. This is the 8-18. And this, ooh, this is a bit bigger, isn't it? Actually really fun because I haven't really been shooting on anything wide. This is the kit lens on the M50. And so after a year of doing this, I've realized that there are kind of 2 things I really care about. One of them is stabilization. To me, running and gunning is fun. I had no idea I was gonna have that much enjoyment doing it. I do not like gimbals. I realize gimbals are tedious and frustrating. However, the other side of it, like I mentioned before, is the low light. And I have been out at night with this bad boy, and I've been disappointed. I'm thinking it's in lens. And if maybe this 2.8 is gonna be good enough, maybe, I don't think it's gonna be for night shoots. But I'm thinking this 2.0, 12 millimeter, and like if I just hold it wide enough, I think this would be pretty cool. So that's gonna be my 2 main things. Now this is the 8-18. And yeah, this is like right up my nose. My goodness, this is definitely a change. But this is the 12 millimeter, a little less than arm's length away, at 2.8. And this is kind of the same lighting I had on earlier, like this, the natural light from outside.
Huh?
I don't think I'd be getting this kind of footage on my nose. Ooh, look at that, bud.
When it came back, everybody was gone, including the book bag.
What do you want to do right now?
I like police car.
Yes! We're gonna ride the police car. Sorry, I keep looking at the screen over here because I'm checking autofocus and stuff. Little guy isn't feeling so hot, and I need to put the camera in the car and see the footage of this lens and also the other lens in the car. And if I can get him in the car and we drive a little bit, pretty good chance he's gonna fall asleep, because he really doesn't nap anymore, but he needs to, because he didn't sleep much last night. Did you, buddy? Ah, and that
We all didn't sleep very much last night.
we all didn't sleep very well last night. We need nose wipes. Check.
Check.
There you go.
Check.
We need the 8 to 18 lens. Check.
Check.
And water. There you go.
Check.
That is my camera mount. That's the setup. Yeah.
Sit down.
Yeah, that takes up some space, huh?
Space.
That's not too bad.
It's too bad.
Oh yeah, so on a side note, I have been wearing these cut shirts for about a week and a half now, and I'm growing more and more in love with them. And yeah, they're a great material, and I'm super impressed. So, but I need to remind you, I totally forgot to tell you in the cut shirts or the cuts video, that there's a link below, and I'll put it in this video as well, that will get you 15% off. So if you're interested in the shirts, please hit the link. Look at all those Airstreams. Look at all those Airstreams. It's finally asleep. I put a little music on. That always helps. I had to get a picture of this cool restaurant. I don't think it's open. And switch out lenses. So this is the wide angle 8 to 18. Yeah, wide angle's cool. Wide angles are, I see why people like them, are fun. I mean, that's a lot of car right there. You're getting a lot of car. All right? The only thing is this line's super heavy, and you can tell it's shaking the whole, the mount's not strong enough. Might be an issue. Focus. Let's hope so, right? Woo! Pancakes.
Blueberry.
Yeah, blueberry pancakes.
Eat the kitties.
I'm off to a very high-class restaurant to get us a very high-class meal to watch the high-class Oscars. During a little commercial break. Ooh, I think they're back on. It's pretty much dark out, and this is just one light. And we're shooting at 800 ISO on the wide angle. So this is the 2.8. This is as bright as it gets. 12 millimeter f2. And you can tell obviously a bit closer in. Yeah, a lot brighter. Day is gonna be a test of 10-bit 422 footage in Vlog. And where better to get some cool colors than where, bud? Where are we going?
Going to park.
That's right. Going to the park. Yeah, right? It's been a while. Gotta get your helmet, man. Okay, so after a few days of having lots of fun playing with the camera that I got from lensrentals.com, I had a lot of fun. I did. It was cool. I was probably a little too obsessed with it. The camera barely ever left my hands. I can't sing the praises of lensrentals.com enough. If you, and I'm not even talking about like customer service or shipping, that seemed like great. I'm just talking about if you are shopping for a camera, rent it. This has been probably the most educational, awesome experience, and it just helped tremendously in so many things. But these are kind of some of the final thoughts that I got from looking at the footage yesterday. I'm torn. I love this camera. I feel like it's just a cool camera to use. There's so many settings. There's so much to learn. You can dig in deep. It can shoot high res codecs. It's a fantastic camera. But I put it in the computer yesterday. Things, I have to admit, have kind of changed. First of all, I was in love with the 12mm f2 lens, but it's an Olympus. I could hear the motor struggling, and I edit with headphones, and I heard that motor, and I don't know if anybody would ever hear it on YouTube, but man, that was bothersome. So I'd have to shoot with the 8-18, which is in a more expensive lens. I love the wide angle. That's a pretty cool angle on that lens, but it's an f2.8, and so that's not that fast, and it's not that great in low light. Stabilization. Wow, right? That's why you buy this camera, if you ask me. Driving around with that heavy lens on the front of this thing, hanging from my windshield with a suction cup mount, and the thing is just bouncing and bouncing. And I was like, this footage is gonna suck. And the footage looked good. It looked really good. And it's really great for the car because it's that decent wide angle, so it gets both seats, so I could have two people sitting in there. We could do some interviewing. 10-bit color. Yeah, well, the computer handled it just fine. So that felt good. And if you want to know a little bit more about my computer, I'll link that video, and you can know what's in my computer, but it was running that footage fine. However, it doesn't recognize the footage right off the bat. You have to transcode it, if that's the right word for it, into ProRes in order for DaVinci Resolve Free to see the footage that you get out of a GH5. It's a lot. It's an extra workflow. Back to low priority stuff, which is actually starting to turn into high priority stuff, is that autofocus. And I didn't think it was that bad. It was okay until I looked at the footage and it's got this wavering in the background. That's to me, whenever I've seen YouTube videos, if it wavers, that's distracting. You gotta tell me. You gotta tell me if I'm being too nitpicky. Tell me in the comments and if I'm expecting too much out of it. One of the main things I did take away from this though is that I don't own this camera. I got to rent it. I got to figure it out. And the only bad thing is I haven't come to a solid conclusion. And hopefully, and I'm going to reach out to other people who use the GH5, especially Caleb, who actually started this whole obsession. So thank you, Caleb, on that one. It also makes me love this Canon M50 a little bit more. I think it's pretty easy to use. This is my story of fashion and fatherhood. Like this video if you got any value from it. And subscribe if you're so inclined. I got more videos coming. I've got videos about fashion, fatherhood, camera gear, and just hopefully something that can inspire you and educate you, right? And always remember, style first. All right, I'm gonna see you on the flip side. He's so cute. He's so cute. Look at how cute it is. He's so cute. Bam! Look at that beast.